Loko, do we have a reason to be impressed? 7 days to go. How are we looking at the Rock, or as we know at the Results Operations Center?
That is very true, Kate. 7 days to go to the elections, and of course political parties are also making their last push as we are heading to May 8. But another central institution in these elections is the Independent Electoral Commission. They are the ones who will be running these elections, and indeed they have established this National Results Operations Center. But let me bring in Simon Mabolo. He is the Chief Electoral Officer at the IEC. Kolobe, thank you so much for making time. Tell us, what is the significance of this Results Operations Center? How is it going to be working?
Well, it's a center that we're going to be coordinating the whole electoral program for. It's a center of transparency. We show the world and indeed all South Africans what we are doing when we prepare for an election, what we're doing on election day, and certainly what we will do in the period after the election, the results collation process. So we're using this to affirm an important constitutional value, which is the transparency of the electoral process.
You have employed approximately 189,000 staff members who will be manning approximately 22,000 voting stations across the country. Take us through the other logistics that you have put in place to ensure smooth running of the elections.
We've printed the ballot paper. At this point, the ballot paper is on the ground. We've made available security materials, the stamps, the ink, and all related things. We've trained staff. There's a bit of mop-up training happening at the moment, but otherwise we are ready and confident that we'll be able to assist 26 million South Africans next week.
Yeah. Yesterday, the Electoral Court sitting in the South Gauteng High Court in Johannesburg had a matter involving the Freedom Front Plus and the BLF, and the court ordered that you as the Chief Electoral Officer and the IEC must actually comply with the Electoral Commission Act by publishing in the Government Gazette the registration of the BLF. I mean, how do you respond to that? They really were saying that you flouted the law by not publishing that information.
We had made a submission to the court that the publication was in fact made on the website, which is much more accessible than a government gazette. But as things stand, that publication will be done in this week still, and we then follow all the necessary process. I think it's just a procedural step that was missed.
Just finally, Ndate Mamabolo, a lot of Western democracies have been complaining about cyber attacks, which they said were threatening their democracies, particularly during the elections. How safe are we as South Africa?
Well, no one is immune from cyber attacks, and we've taken the necessary precautions, but there aren't threats. We are not a target at the moment.
Thank you so much, Chief Electoral Officer of the IEC, Simon Mabolo. Let me tell you also, Faith, that in this particular Results Operations Center, there are several desks for political parties, and of course later on there's going to be a program wherein the speeches obviously will be delivered, but we are also going to be taken through this center wherein they will be telling us specifically about what's going to be happening here from today until the elections or beyond the elections.
Look, it's definitely going to be a busy week ahead for all those concerned, particularly for the IEC, ensuring that all runs smoothly ahead of the elections. As you heard, 22,000 voting stations there, so ensuring that indeed those elections are not only free and fair, but you also get an opportunity to vote quite smoothly as 7 days to go.